Good morning, everyone. It is March 18th, 2018. I'm Eric. I have on my computer screen here a document called Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. It's in a book called Behold a Pale Rider or Pale Horse by Bill Cooper on page 36. This document, dated May 1979, was found on July 7th of 1986 in an IBM copier that was purchased from a surplus sale. Bill Cooper, a former naval intelligence officer with the Commander-in-Chief of the Pacific Fleet and a 38 level above top secret clearance, read the same report in Naval Intelligence Majority 12 file. It was listed as compiled by the Bilderberg Group. I'm going to try to hit the key points of every section here, but this video may end up being fairly long. Welcome aboard. This publication marks the 25th anniversary of the Third World War, called the Quiet War, being conducted using subjective biological warfare, fought with silent weapons. Security. It is patently impossible to discuss social engineering or the automation of society. The engineering of a social automation system, silent weapons, on a national or world scale without implying extensive objectives of social control and destruction of human life, i.e., slavery and genocide. This manual in itself is an analog declaration of intent. Such a writing must be secured from public scrutiny. Otherwise, it might be recognized as a technically formal declaration of domestic war. Furthermore, whenever any person or group of persons in a position of great power and without full knowledge and consent of the public uses such knowledge and methodology for economic conquest, it must be understood that a state of domestic warfare exists between said person or group of persons and the public. The solution of today's problems requires an approach which is ruthlessly candid, with no agonizing over religions, morals, or cultural values. If you have qualified for this project because of your ability to look at human society with cold objectivity and yet analyze and discuss your observations and conclusions with others of similar intellectual capacity without a loss of discretion or humility. Such virtues are exercised in your own best interest. Do not deviate from them. Silent weapons technology has evolved from operations research, a strategic and tactical methodology developed under the military management in England during World War II. The original purpose of operations research was to study the strategic and tactical problems of air and land defenses with the objective of effective use of limited military resources against foreign enemies. It was soon recognized by those in positions of power that the same methods might be useful for totally controlling a society, but better tools were necessary. Social engineering, the analysis and automation of a society, requires the correlation of great amounts of constantly changing economic information, so a high-speed computerized data processing system was necessary which could race ahead of the society and predict when society would arrive for capitulation. Relay computers were too slow. Next breakthrough was in 1946 with the invention of the electronic computer. The next breakthrough was the development of the simplex method of linear programming in 1947. Then in 1948, the transistor was invented. With these three inventions under their direction, those in position of power strongly suspected that it was possible for them to control the whole world with the push of a button. Immediately, the Rockefeller Foundation got in on the ground floor by making a 4-year grant to Harvard College, funding the Harvard Economic Research Project for the study. And in 1949, the United States Air Force joined in. In 1952, the original grant period terminated and a high-level meeting of the elite was held to determine the next phase of social operations research. And that high-level meeting, by the way, was the Bilderberg Group. See, it's all here in black and white, and this is what these people are doing to us, and they're using the stupidity of the masses as a weapon. Engineered in the last half of the decade of the 1940s, the new quiet war machine stood, so to speak, in sparkling gold-plated hardware on the showroom floor by 1954. With the creation of the Mauser in 1954, the promise of unlocking unlimited sources of fusion atomic energy from the heavy hydrogen in seawater and the consequent availability of unlimited social power was a possibility only decades away. The combination was irresistible. The Quiet War was quietly declared by the international elite at a meeting in 1954. Although the silent weapon system was nearly exposed 13 years later, the evolution of the new weapon system has never suffered. This volume marks the 25th anniversary of the beginning of the Quiet War. Already, this domestic war has had many victories on many fronts throughout the world. In 1954, it was well recognized by those in positions of authority that it was only a matter of time, only a few decades, before the general public would be able to grasp and upset the cradle of power, for the very elements of the new silent weapon technology were as accessible for a public utopia as they were for providing a private utopia. The issue of primary concern, that of dominance, revolved around the subject of the energy sciences. Energy is recognized as the key to all activity on Earth. Natural science is the study of the sources and control of natural energy, and social sciences, theoretically expressed as economics, is the study of the sources and control of social energy. Both are bookkeeping systems, mathematics. Therefore, mathematics is the primary energy science, and the bookkeeper can be king if the public can be kept ignorant of the methodology of the bookkeeping. All science is merely a means to an end. The means is knowledge, the end is control. Beyond this remains only one issue: who will be the beneficiary? In 1954, this was the issue of primary concern. Although the so-called moral issues were raised in view of law of natural selection, it was agreed that a nation or world of people who will not use their intelligence are no better than animals who do not have intelligence. Such people are beasts of burden and stakes on the table by choice and consent. By choice and consent. Are you understanding that it's by your choice, it is by your consent that we have been enslaved and continue to be more and more and more enslaved with each passing year, month, week, and day. Consequently, in the interest of future world order, peace, and tranquility, it was decided to privately wage a quiet war against the American public with an ultimate objective of permanently shifting the natural and social energy of the undisciplined and irresponsible many into the hands of the self-disciplined, responsible, and worthy few.